All right, you guys, going to do a quick garage gym tour update that might not be so quick from the changes that I've made since the last version here. I'm coming up on about a 1 year anniversary in about a month for this garage gym from the start. So I've done a lot in the last year, and I wanted to give you guys an update. So I'll go through each piece and kind of why I have it, why I like it, and where it came from. And I have everything filmed in the half ratio on the video because the garage is only 18 by 13, so it's a single car. So it's relatively small. So I don't have a ton of, if I did it in the regular 1 by video, it would not come out as easy to see the whole garage. So I'm just gonna do a couple of quick panoramas of the space before I go down and kind of show off each piece and tell you about why I love it so much. So we'll start over in the corner here. I got the Mutant Metals Rogue dip attachment. I love it for the adjustability, and I think it's the best dip bar on the market besides maybe the Velocidor, but the Velocidors seem to be pretty heavy, and I like my attachments not to be insanely heavy for me to pick up and use. Over here, I got a leftover barbell and multi-grip from my last basement gym and the last tours, so they're kind of just holdovers from before. And I got the Iron Master adjustable dumbbells. This is the heavy handle kit plus the extension kit that goes up to 135 with the heavy handles. So it's basically the full set minus the last expansion kit. I also have the micro adjustment plates that let you go by 1.25 pounds. And then I spray painted them gray because they were in beat up shape. And I got them from my buddy Ignacio off of Marketplace. So they're a great adjustable dumbbell set, highly recommend if you can't fit full dumbbells like I can't here. Moving on, I got the seated leg curl. This is the Cybex VR2 from Marketplace from my buddy Ignacio from a Department of Justice gym closing down in DC. Awesome seated leg curl. Cybex VR2 is one of my favorite ones I've ever used besides the Prime and Strive, and I really like the Eagle one from Cybex. So this is definitely one of my favorite ones, which is awesome since it's like a dream piece in here. Love the seated leg curl. Got the Cybex seated calf raise off of Marketplace. This one is one of my favorite seated calves I've ever used. It's just really comfortable, doesn't need a lot of weight, and I really love this one. And I had to have a seated calf in here since calves are one of my weak points. So I like to put things that I'm working on in the garage here. This is a Titan tibia anterior raise, so it trains the shin, opposite muscle of the calf, to keep good joint health at your knee. So I find I use the two of them in supersets pretty often when I'm training my calves. Also, this was brand new, but Titan was pretty cheap. Matrix horizontal leg press. Got this from Ignacio from Marketplace for a great price. This is one of those horizontal seated leg presses that goes up and at an angle so the sled travels and the foot plate remains stable. I find these to be the best versions of selectorized leg presses personally, especially for calf raises. So you can do like a 45 calf press with the homemade calf block on it for good range of motion. Works just like any of those calf presses machines that are dedicated. I also find the platform being stable, it just makes for a lot more stability in the leg press than when they move around. Good for glute bias leg pressing as well as quad. If you want to get quad bias by putting your feet lower, you can get some adductor work in there. And then I use it for calves a lot too, so it's pretty versatile. This is the Prime plate loaded seated row, my favorite seated row of all time. Fully adjustable chest pad here, which is new for them. You can upgrade to it if you ask about it. It's not available to the public just yet, but essentially you, trying to do this one-handed, pop this pin and you can adjust the seat chest pad 5 different angles, so you can bias more lats or rear delts or upper back depending on the angle that you put the pad at. There's also a lot more holes to place for the chest pad moving forward and back than the original. I think it went from 7 to 12 for this new one. So it's a super awesome row. I got the rotate handle upgrade for it since I love those rotate handles, and I have the original ones for if I want to use like Versa grips. Plate loaded row, Prime stuff, super awesome. If you don't know, you can basically adjust the resistance profile with the different pegs, so you can make it harder at the end of the motion, harder at the beginning, or anywhere in between. Definitely my favorite seated row of all time, so I'm very blessed to have this in my gym, and it is one of my favorite pieces in here and one of my most used for sure. Over here, I got the Prime Fitness leg extension, leg curl plate loaded combo. Similar story to the Row. It is one of the best leg extensions and lying leg curls simultaneously that I've ever used. It's just like those standalone pieces from Prime that are plate loaded. Only difference is the shin pad doesn't adjust as much. There's only 3 settings here versus 8 on the standalones, I believe. Otherwise, it's the best, one of my best pieces in here. It's my favorite leg extension and lying leg curl I've ever used, so highly recommend. I bought these both new from Prime. Great pieces. This one is the newest addition to the gym. It's the Nautilus 2ST chest press, vertical chest, I should say. I love the converging arm path. This is my favorite arm path I've ever used on a chest machine. The neutral handles are money, and these wider horizontal ones are also really good. Seat pad adjusts. There's a foot lever, 320-pound stack. I got this one used from my buddy Ignacio, who got it used from another equipment dealer down in like North Carolina, I think. So it was a great pickup from him. Shout out to him for helping me get it into the space and picking it up for me. It's the best chest press I think I've ever used, period. So I'm also, as you can see, there's kind of like the dream lineup in this garage for me. It's every best piece that I've used is in here for the most part. We're still working on it. But yeah, this was a great pickup. I plan to redo the pad upholstery to match the royal blue that I have going out throughout the rest of the gym. But otherwise, it's basically in really great shape. Got my wife's Peloton here for cardio. This is her favorite piece. I use it occasionally. It's pretty good for the most part for a spin bike. I got the Prime Trap Bar. I bought this new Prime Trap Bar, bought used off Marketplace. Got it for a pretty decent price. One of my favorite trap bars ever. I use it for trap bar RDLs and deadlifts. I don't really do a lot of straight bar deadlift work, especially with limited space in here. And this is just my favorite way to do it. I love the adjustable handles, so the start point is a lot more custom to my start point flexibility. And I love this thing for RDLs. It's great. Over here, I got the Concept 2 rower, which is my cardio of choice. I bought this new, and I use this for every cardio session pretty much. It's my favorite one. Over here, Mirror, free Marketplace, multi-grip pull-up bar. Gronk Fitness, I believe, is the brand. I got that used off Marketplace. For some pull-up variations, yes, I can do pull-ups off here. It's actually just enough space in front of the Prime to do them perfectly fine. So it's tight, but it works. I got the wall ball stability mount on there, and I got some foam rollers and yoga mats and stuff on the wall over there too. Nuabels, I got these in addition to the Iron Masters for quicker weight changes for lighter working weight sets. So I get the best of both worlds because sometimes the Iron Masters take a little long, and they're great for straight sets. So heavy straight sets, I use the Iron Master. Quick change stuff, I use the Nuabel. When I'm lazy, I use the Nuabel for lighter weight because they're just a little easier. I got the Prime adjustable bench. This is my favorite adjustable bench I've ever used. I use the arm pads a lot actually for bicep work, which there's arm pads that you can actually put into here that come out from the bench. So you can use them to stabilize yourself for preacher curl work or cable face away curl work if you're sitting down, things of the sort. So I use this all the time. Those all the time, as well as just the bench in general all the time on this. I use it with the Free Motion cable cross here a ton. Love this bench. It's super lightweight too, which is not the case for a lot of the Rep and Rogue ones. So I find it's used a lot more because of that. So yeah, Free Motion, bought this brand new. This is the Cable Cross Light, so it's the smaller footprint variation of it. It's got lighter stacks, only 70 pounds, 3-to-1 cable ratio, so 70 of effective resistance. You can gym pin, I think, up to maybe 110s on the stack if you max out the gym pin. The cool thing about the Light is the arms are a little bit shorter. You got the same amount of adjustability as the full one, but the arms are shorter and the footprint's smaller, so you actually, because my gym is small relatively, it's when the arms are fully out, they come out from the full or the Prime one, they would come out way into the gym to the point where it would hit everything else, versus these are short enough where I could still do cable rows and things of the sort with the bench. So it actually works out really well with the Light version, given the crampedness in the gym and also the fact that space was a premium. Kensui Easy Vest, I love this thing for lunge variations, pull-ups. It's the best weight vest I've ever used. Kettlebell, hardly used, just a holdover from the last gym, and battle rope. Prime solo wedges for lunge variations. I got the American Barbell in GP 45, American Barbell 10 through 35s, And then this is the rubber coated series. And then I got the urethane GP, which were used from a commercial gym from a guy that I bought off Marketplace. And they're great. I love having the urethane rubber coated plates and would highly recommend those over the metal. For me personally, I like the quietness in the handles and just the overall feel of them a lot better. Got the Life Fitness hyperextension bench for hyperextension variations. I'll do it for a glute bias one, or I'll elevate the angle here to more like a 55 degree. We can get a lot more hamstring activation. And I'll elevate it off DC blocks and some other plates and things just to get the angle a little higher. I love this thing. Got this off Marketplace. This was probably my biggest steal of the gym. I got it for $100 from a guy local to me. I think they go for like $1,800 new. So this was one of the better deals I got in the gym on the Marketplace finds. I got the Cybex lying leg press, but it's technically their plate-loaded hack. That's the classic one, but tilted on its side and selectorized. It's got the same angles as the original one, same foot plate. It's just a selectorized version of it, so it's more compact because the weight horns take up so much extra room in a garage. So this is actually an awesome variation. I find the selectorized stack to be a little smoother than the plate-loaded variation too, but it's the same exact feel as the hack. And you can still elevate the heels and for a more quad bias if you need to, like I do. And I use Olympic weightlifting shoes and DC blocks for depth, extra depth, as well as the wedges. I have some other wedges that I have here for the hack, so I can get a really, really deep, good, full, solid knee flexion squat on here. Got the, like I mentioned, the DC blocks back there. This is my wall control. The best things on here for me: the rotate handles for pull day and the CAS handles for push day, arm day type work. The dually Dynepic Sports for hammer curl variations and tricep work. Gym pins for weight stacks on every piece in this gym if I ever get that strong. Performance pins for drop sets. You can look them up. They're really cool. And then the IPR Fitness glute kickback cable. They're like a kickback attachment variation. That's awesome. They're the best ones I've ever used for kickback variations. So I would highly recommend looking into those. And then I got the daisy chains and some other things up here, and a bunch of collars and just random things I've collected over time, the Versa grips, all that. That's the Prime wall holder for the arm pad and the leg roller for the bench. And then I got this Sorinex single stack. It's one of their older models from a while ago. So it's a dual cable design, 2-to-1 cable ratio with both handles, 1-to-1 if you combine the two, 300-pound weight stack. And I use this for anything that's heavier than what I can't use the free motion for. And I'm building out a lat pull down variation, the traditional style lat pull downs with the thigh pad via the Stray Dog Strength tube and the Stray Dog Strength utility roller. So I'm gonna set that up, anchor it here with some of the various parts that I've collected here, and basically make a lat seat for it. So I could do traditional style lat pull downs with the thigh pad on it, just kind of hacking this to make it a lat pull down. But I also use it for a low row feature because it has a low row built into it, as well as just a general single heavy cable stack. It's great for rows and things that are a little heavier than the free motion without needing to gym pin it. So it's just an extra cable station here for me to have some variety. Otherwise, I think that's everything. Got the flooring as American Floor Mats, 10% gray fleck rubber roll. I think the 3/8 thick variation, best flooring I've ever used, and I've done this in 2 gyms now, so would buy again. Lighting is the Barina lights from Amazon, LED. I don't remember the sizing, but it's the 6500K, I think, brightness level one, so it's super bright in here. And I got the Sonos over there for sound, and I got the mini split for conditioning the space. Everything's insulated in here except for the garage door, which is a project that's coming up. I bought the kit for it. So it stays really cool in here, or hot in here, depending on the time of the year. And I'll do a quick panorama a couple times around to catch it all. So like I said, a 18 by 13 foot garage at the widest. This bump out here for the steps is 11 foot, so it's a little smaller in the middle. And I have this thing basically maxed as far as I can tell. I've could maybe somehow find a way to fit something else in here small, but I am pretty maxed out right now on space. So this is pretty much it. And I think I didn't mention Ignacio for Marketplace, shout out to him, and Ignacio for Marketplace, if I didn't mention, shout out to him. He's helped me with basically half or more of this gym. So he's one of my best gym find buddies. Highly recommend him for people in the local DMV area. He's a big marketplace guy who finds some of the best stuff out there, and he's a great friend of mine, so lucky to have him. Overall, really happy with the space. I've tried my best to make it the dream space for me and fill it with the best stuff that I've ever used for the most part. So maybe keep collecting over time and upgrading things here and there, but honestly, most of this stuff is about perfect for me. So this might be the tail end of the journey and only doing little upgrades here and there for a while at least. But I wanted to give you guys the update. Appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, happy to help. Love to talk about it some more, and happy to help with other people's gym spaces and recommend things. Love to do it. Love to help people. Appreciate your guys' time.